going. We're going live. What's up, everybody? It's the pirate and my pal.
Fish.
We're having lunch, barbecue, Four Rivers Smokehouse.
Unsweet tea.
Water today. I'm actually working on a healthy thing. How have you been?
Great. Outstanding.
Great since
Super
Donald
duper.
Trump became president.
Well, no, my stack just got 4 ounces heavier. That's what happened.
I guess we're gonna have to take care of that first, huh? And
Well,
get it.
I mean, technically, you said he had to be inaugurated, so that's the 20th. Do you feel
It
pretty
is.
good it's going to happen?
Well, not exactly, but
So I did bring what to show you what you would have gotten. I was gonna roll the dice.
oh, the dice,
Yeah.
huh? Look at that.
2 ounce
Man,
silver dice.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, that would have been 4 ounces of silver.
Well,
But they're back in my pocket.
I am going to say,
Yes.
I'm glad you brought up the fact about inauguration.
Yeah,
Hold on, I lost a napkin.
Right.
If he does not get inaugurated, I want my silver back. Just to clarify our position.
Okay. Just to clarify.
But I do have silver for you.
Okay.
I did put a little thought into it.
All right.
Just a little bit. And it's one of those things where you don't know until you don't know. And I'll tell you what I didn't know until I knew it.
Okay.
But I'm going to give you your silver.
All right. I'm excited.
Hold your hand out.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
Okay.
Okay, take a look.
What?
So here's what
What?
you don't know until you know. And when I was talking about getting rid of my channel
I don't
bar,
think you can give this back to me.
when I got rid of my channel bar the first time,
Oh yeah.
I was dying to get that copper one back.
Check out the
and-
crannies.
I got the copper one back, and I loved it. And I was like, this is mine. This is it.
We got some nookage.
I have to keep it forever.
We got turkey. What's up, my friend? How you doing, man?
Good in yourself.
I'm doing
Thank
great.
you, man.
Thank you very much. Oh, that's a generous portion.
If you folks need anything, I'll be back to check on you guys in a little bit. But my name's Steve.
Appreciate
Okay, we're
it.
Steve and Tom.
Steve and Todd?
Yep. Tom.
Tom.
Got it.
Thank you, man.
So what happened is I watch you make your video about credentials.
Yes.
And every time you do, you've got everyone else's channel bars.
Wow.
And you have none of your own. And I sit and I go, you know what? For the man that has everything, to not have one of his
I
own
can't
channel
stop smiling.
bars,
I haven't held one of these in forever.
I was like, we need to send this one
This
home.
is second generation.
It is.
This is
It's
second generation.
not your first.
No, no.
I did not make the friends cut on your first generation.
No, but it does have the amazing crannies.
It does.
It's toned up.
It does. And
Look at that.
and I did pay up extra for that fancy
Yeah.
piece of silver. So it's like getting 4 ounces.
Yeah, and you were from Hawaii, and I think I talked about how it looks like the island chain on the back.
It's it's
you know?
beautiful. It's a
Yes.
beautiful piece.
Wow.
I
So
am.
it's just a minor detail. Just a minor detail.
What's that?
You owe me 5.4 ounces. Or 0.54 ounces. He still owes me 0.54 ounces.
So I knew that was gonna come up because I know you. And I came prepared for just such an event.
Oh, man.
So technically you owe me 0.48 of an ounce. I'm gonna
Oh.
cash in one of your
Wow.
chips
Man.
for 1 ounce of fish silver.
That is well played.
And we're just gonna call it even.
That is well played.
So that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough. I got 2 of those, and one is coming
Wow.
back to you for your ounce of silver.
2024 is the greatest election year in the history of history.
Look, I
thing
said
is amazing.
I said this before. If you haven't been watching, we had a bet of who would be inaugurated. I honestly thought the Dems would pull out all the stops.
I'm very proud of us both because we both brought something legit. Like you didn't
Yeah.
want to lose this, but you were willing to. I didn't want to lose the 2 ounces or the 4 ounces of silver dice,
Right.
but I was willing to.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's, you know,
Yeah.
we knew
Legit.
what was at stake, and I said
Legit.
all along, look,
Yeah.
I would gladly pay 4 ounces to see Trump get back into office.
Oh yeah.
And I'm a man of my word. I
Yeah.
will gladly pay that.
Yeah. You bought
So,
the election. You bought the election.
We are, yeah, you can thank me. That 4 ounces that was on the line, that's what pushed us over the edge.
Wow.
So, but in any case, exciting.
You have any thoughts on the election? I mean, everything's been said. It's going to be said. But any thoughts? We haven't talked.
We haven't talked at all. Now, we did text each other all night until he did the concession speech, which I literally sat there watching it with the biggest smile on my face the whole time.
You refuse to believe because I'm like texting you. I'm like, Fox just called it. You're like, Fox is the only one. No one else has called it. No one else has called it. I'm like, dude, it's done.
Well,
done.
The theorist in me has theories, of course.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens between now and then. 2 months is a long time. I don't think war is going to wait for Trump.
No.
We'll see.
Okay. So, I have a couple thoughts.
Yeah.
The first one is, how about Jill Biden? Jill.
Wearing red
to go vote. If that wasn't a signal, I don't know what was. I mean, you don't do that. And I think that they are ticked. Her and it puts like the garbage comments and all this other stuff that was okay, we got a little situation out here.
Well, I have a good friend of mine.
The two cars are about to hit each other right in front of us.
And he has his theory on Trump winning.
Yeah.
Is them knowing we're going to war, the war hawks, and knowing that she couldn't facilitate our country in any way, shape, or form in that situation. And the big contractors, they're going to make their money. They have a lot of pull.
Yeah.
Now look, this is all, I know everyone gets tired of my conspiracy theories and my thoughts.
They're going to make their money.
They'll make it regardless.
In defense spending, so Trump's going to make NATO pay up. He always does.
Right. And they should.
And so what's going to happen? America's going to sell them more weapons. So whether or not we're selling weapons for active war or selling weapons in defense, he's going to defend up this country. I mean, what he's talking about putting in like the dome over. I mean, I call it the dome. I don't know exactly what he calls it. You know what I'm talking about?
The Iron Dome.
It's I don't know
protects them.
Yeah, some sort of missile defense system on the ground in America, right? I mean.
For us.
For us.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's talking about that. So, which I think is great. We should have that sort of stuff. We got nothing. We just say, we got an ocean on either side. Who cares? In Canada and Mexico, we don't have to worry about nothing. It's like, well, freaking Soviets just parked a sub off the coast of Cuba a little while back. So obviously we need to defend against something.
Beyond that, and I don't think I brought this up ever. I had a viewer. He lives in Russia. He asked me to send him some swag. And I went to the post office to send it in, and Russia does not accept America's mail.
Oh.
Did I tell you about that?
No.
Russia shut that down 3 or 4 weeks ago now. They no longer accept incoming mail from America. And you have to wonder if there is not a reason behind that, which I would speculate. If you're going to go to war, you don't want to deal with your enemy sending stuff across lines, right?
I mean, we are at war with Russia right now. It's a proxy war through the Ukraine.
100%.
We are at war. We are at war with Russia. But, all right. So, Jill Biden in red, I thought that was amazing. I thought just watching Joe trying to sabotage Kamala the whole time, amazing. That's not why we won. We won because people are ticked and they wanted change, and there was a red wave. But regardless of all that, so I stay out of politics for the most part, and I say that to say I'm aware of things. I have my red lines on things I'm for, against, all that sort of stuff.
We just don't talk about it.
But we don't talk about it, and I don't sit there and watch all the news on. I'm not on the internet watching all my watching Benny and watching all the different the channels and things, watching all the politics and stuff, listening to Charlie Kirk, all these things, right? I stay out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I watch things now and then, but leading up to the election, these past probably 6 weeks, I would say, I get more and more just seeing what's going on, more and more invested in it. I tried to turn on the radio this morning to listen to what's going on, and it was like the light switch has been turned off as far as being engaged with the media.
Right.
Not being as far as not being engaged with every, you need to know what's going on. You need to listen to good sources, but just like listening to, like the first night, I think we watched the last half of the election on CNN and MSNBC just
Right.
because it was so funny to watch them melt down, right? It was for the meltdown.
Right.
But now it's just like, it's all anger and hate, and just, it's back to just, I'm like, all right, done, we're done. I'll still listen to political stuff, stay current, but actually watching the news or listening to the news on the radio, I've already switched gears. I'm back to like, I listened to a sermon on the way in to work today. That's what I normally do. I listen to some sort of Bible thing, and I've already switched gears. I'm like, I'm over it. I'm super excited, super stoked,
But be aware, we're gonna definitely see a repeat of 2020. They are gonna have riots and all of that, and unfortunately, we've got the fuel of 20 million plus immigrants that are just hanging out, that have no ties or loyalty to America. So when you start lighting up riots in cities and you throw a bunch of immigrants on top of it that could care less, they got nothing better to do.
hey, I don't think you should call them immigrants.
I think it's gonna,
I don't think you should call them immigrants.
illegal immigrants?
They're not immigrants. They're just illegals.
Illegals.
They're
We're just
just
calling me
illegals.
illegals.
Like my in-laws are immigrants, right?
Right.
My ancestors are immigrants. You come across the border illegally, you're not an immigrant. You're an illegal. There should be no additional word, and the fact that we even call them immigrants, it then frames it, because it doesn't, you know what I'm saying?
Good point. It gives them too much credit.
It gives them credit, and because it then comes across, and I'm not one to be a Trump apologist for the fact that he can be somewhat insensitive at times in his wording or harsh or whatever. Like, people need to use their brain and understand what he's really saying.
Right.
But with that said, and I'm not trying to get on your case about it, I'm just thinking, generally speaking, right? People just say immigrant this, immigrant that. It's like, we're a country of immigrants.
Right.
Nothing wrong with being an immigrant. Those people are not immigrants. They have not immigrated. They have invaded.
It's true.
Right.
So I think we're in for a rough road with
Yeah.
that. But let's shift gears for a minute, because
I
immediately.
got one more thing.
All right.
Last thing.
Lay it on me.
Last thing. All right.
I got another bite of brisket here.
All right. So this is just something, as I'm kind of shifting gears out of this political thing and I'm seeing all the anger and stuff, this is just something I really respect about you. Really respect about you, man. And you're actually a leader in the world in this department, and I don't think you realize it. But James 1:19 says, "Know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. For the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God." And one of the things I love about you is that you are slow to anger. Like, you have things that we're not called to not be angry. We should be angry about a lot of things. There's a lot of injustices in the world. There's a lot of bad things going on, and we should be angry. But the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. And I mean, how many times have we had conversations, and I know I just about set you off, and I see you literally bite your tongue. And I see you kind of like smile, and then you always reply graciously to me. And it's like, if more people, there's nothing wrong with being angry. And like, you use your platform to promote good anger, as far as you talk about the issues that are important to you. You talk
Right.
about the things that we should be concerned about. You talk about, hey, take your head out of the sand, people, be aware. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you have a platform for that. But one-on-one with people, right? You're gracious, you're kind, and you're not quick to anger. And there's so many, both on the left and right. It's not just a left thing. It's on the right side too.
They're flying
that are
off.
so quick to anger, and it's like they've completely forgot about, love. And it's like, I'm not rolling over on issues, right? But I believe, for me, my purpose in life are the final words of Jesus Christ, which is the Great Commission, which is to, make disciples of all nations. So it's to spread the word, and anger ain't doing it, and
Sure.
love is always the solution. So
Well,
I really appreciate that about you, because you've actually been a really good example to me. I tend to not, like you've gotten me more passionate about issues that are important and not keeping my head buried in the sand just because I'm like just worried about loving everybody. And you've shown me like, hey, there's also times where I need to like just bite my tongue and be more gracious to people, because you've always been like that with me. Even when I've flying off the handle at you, and you know I have. So
you have to. So I
but
appreciate
that's a quality
that.
you have, and I don't think people see that side of you all the time because they just get this, right? But they don't get the off camera on the phone or in person when you're actually. And I see it, and I think it's amazing that you are so.
That comes with
slow to anger,
life experience and wisdom, because I was not always that way. Having been in a ton of fights as a kid, having been a bouncer in Vegas, getting angry was an easy thing. And it's not till you get older you realize how useless it really is. In the right circumstances, it's necessary, but in general, you know, unless there's anger or danger towards you or another person, there really isn't that reason to put that towards somebody else. With that said, having convictions about your beliefs, I think that is a fantastic thing to be, you know, I didn't always speak out, and even on this channel, you tend to shy away from politics because it divides, and there are people that obviously are Democrat and watch my channel. I've had some comments from you guys.
We found them recently.
And it's one of
one of them told me I was like the biggest piece of trash ever.
Yeah, I have had.
I'm like,
but here's the thing.
You have a difference of opinion?
Here's the thing. I feel like, especially over the most recent years, we've been made to believe we're the only ones.
Right.
We're the only ones that think this way. The world thinks this other way.
Yeah.
That it goes against everything I believe in or think anyway. And so once you think
we're
that,
doing good, man. Thank you.
Once you think,
every time we eat out here, I ask the same thing. Can that fan ever be turned on, or is it just dead?
It's dead.
It's dead.
It's dead. It's dead.
Every week, it'll resurrect itself for a day.
Really?
I promise you just have to come on a good day.
we come here almost every week, every other week. Sit right here. So let them know there's some customers that would love to see that fan working.
We sit here for family. Wait.
Oh my God!
I think that's.
I promise you.
I think that's the breeze blowing through before everyone gets carried away.
I was a little crazy with that. I'm just saying, every week, everybody likes itself for family meetings. We sit out here
and they all say all the time.
I don't know.
But
I'll let them know because.
Well, tell them paying customers would like it.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
This fish is getting angry right now.
This is righteous indignation.
He becomes the Hulk.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.
To get the fan
all right, we're shifting gears.
All right.
We spent enough on that one.
Okay, that's it. We're done.
Trump wins.
Yeah.
The next day, stock market rises, what, 1,500 points. Silver and gold tank crash.
But
what's the correlation?
Fear.
I don't think it's fear. I think
it's back up though. Silver's up 55 cents and gold's up 35.
I think that this actually shows us what we've been saying. In order for silver and gold to climb like we've seen it do in the past year, the world has to be a mess.
Right.
And the world is clearly a mess. And then as soon as Trump gets put in, there's optimism within the market.
But it's still, I mean, we're looking at $2,700 gold.
It's still high.
And $31.50, $31.60 silver. I mean,
but as soon as we get optimism in the market, we see a pullback on silver and gold. And I think the correlation is Trump's back.
Yeah.
He's coming back.
I agree.
The world is going to get some semblance of reality or normalcy.
I had a hot take with Emerald on this. We were talking, I've sold a little bit of silver at the 32.50 number. Mm-hmm. Sold it at 32.50. When silver was 33.50.
Right.
You know, I had to take $1 back from spot. Was talking to Emerald. He's like, "Are you buying? Where are you at? Blah blah blah." I'm just airing Emerald's information, or personal information from Emerald.
Air it out.
And basically, I said, you know, I would not be surprised to see silver down at 25, 26 bucks. I don't think it's going to stay there, but I would not be surprised to see some sort of dip back into that area, especially if things start to chill out. If you know, silver is very volatile, so it overreacts both to the positive and the negative. You know, either way. So I think there will be some opportunities under 30 bucks to get in there and nibble.
I think
and then back up.
that's crazy because I think there's too much now going on with the other countries that are forming an alliance against us in the BRICS scenario.
Your end of the year silver call was $29.
No, it was not.
$29.50.
No.
I went $32.50 and you went under $30.
No, I did not.
Mm-hmm.
No chance.
All right, we're gonna play that back.
We'll have that info for you next time.
My next video will be a spliced together video of this, then with Pirates saying that, and then me going back to this saying, I told you so.
Well,
That's the video.
I think for the most part, people are thrilled to have the change in this direction. RFK put out a statement on X,
Yeah.
basically telling the FDA your days are numbered of shilling for big pharma and not letting people have things that are healthy for them with the excuse that it can't be patented. So your unpasteurized milk, your all these different things, he listed them off. Hydroxychloroquine and all those were on there too. And he said, 1, keep a hold of your records, and 2, pack your bags. That's what's happening. And the FDA has been a shill for big pharma for years. They're a government entity, yet here they are working for profits and kickbacks.
That sort of thing really excites me because, you know,
it is exciting.
There's so, I mean, the stranglehold that big pharma has on society is just huge, and big food, right? All these companies that are just so. I'm definitely not like a. I mean, I'm a capitalist, free market, all that stuff, but people do need to be protected against dangerous pharma and food. You know what I mean? And we need the right information that's not clouded in, lobbyists paying congressmen and all this other stuff. So
which I don't think we've seen in years. Clearly, the FDA is not protecting the people when they're letting things like the jab slip through.
Yeah.
All right. Lastly.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna save this little nugget. I'm gonna save this nugget. But let's do a couple of questions from the jar, and we'll wrap this up. Totally random. I don't know what's in there anymore. I don't even remember because they were written a while ago. What do you got? Oh, nice. 3 things you want to do before you die.
Man.
What do you got?
Oh, I got to think about that one.
No particular order.
3 things I want to do before I die.
I can say one for me is for sure. Well, I love to travel, and there's only a few places that are on a list that I've never been and I've always wanted to go. One of which is an Alaskan cruise up to Alaska. I'd actually love to take a trip to Alaska, do fishing charters and all that. It gets real expensive, but Alaska is definitely on my list.
All right, I've got 2.
Okay, go. What do you got?
So far, I want to meet my great grandchildren. Okay. Right now, I have a granddaughter. I want obviously more grandkids, but I want to meet my great grandchild.
I like it.
And I would like to ultimately be, and I say employed loosely, maybe it's because I'm in a position that I don't need money. I have no idea. I don't know exactly how this will work out, but be involved at some point in my life in ministry. Something that...
You're doing it now.
Yeah, 100%.
You're doing it right now.
100%. But I'm talking like maybe missionary work. I don't know. I'm not sure. But something beyond the daily grind that I'm currently involved in.
Right.
And you're 100% right to say that I'm doing it now. And I'm trying to do that now, right? I'm trying to do that.
Pastor Fish is preaching.
I'm trying to do that. But, so, as far as like my 9 to 5, I would love to one day no longer be in the daily grind that I'm at now. And there's nothing wrong with my job. I have an amazing job. As I inhale my brisket.
Yeah, inhale it.
Super blessed, but that would be something that would be on the list.
My number two would be write a book. I've always talked about writing a book. I always feel like I'm way too busy to do that, but definitely at least a book in my lifetime. Something fictional, but who knows? I may convert the story of my life into a book one day, and that might be worth reading. Third, I'm not exactly sure how or why. Working with food makes me happy. It always has.
Yep.
There's no greater feeling than walking in a kitchen in the morning and flipping the lights on and starting to cook and firing up the furnaces and all that stuff. It's a very cool thing. I don't think I would ever want to go back to doing that for somebody else, but perhaps one day a food truck, a cart, something of that nature on my terms. I could see loving something like that 100%. And I have a million ideas about what I'd love to do. Hawaiian food, chicken wings. I mean, there's any number of hell, I'd be happy running a hot dog cart, to be perfectly honest. But I've thought about that forever. So one day I'd love to take a dip into that. Maybe once I'm retired, that's how I have fun in retirement. I don't know.
I guess my last thing would be on maybe, less deep of a type of thing, would be
Less deep.
you know what I'm saying, is that I would like to do like a 2-week vacation with my family.
Disney World?
No, with my family,
I'm going to
and do like
Disneyland.
Britain, Scotland,
Oh, yeah.
Ireland, that whole area there. I would like to go do that.
Which I'll attest to is incredible.
Yeah.
England and Scotland, I have been to both several times. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do Ireland, so that's a great thing.
Yeah, that'll be.
A little heritage trip.
Yeah.
I got a question, and this is actually a good one, and I'll tell you what mine is first, and then you can follow up. You die, what's your metals plan? What are you going to do with your metals when you die? And I will tell you 100%, my wife has instructions to go to fish with all my metals, and whatever he buys. Otherwise, I said have him liquidate through Oviedo, because I know that they'll be fair, Oviedo Rare Coins.
Yeah.
But whether Fish picks up my whole collection off of her, whatever the case is, I trust him. He knows what it is. And that is literally what I've told her. I said anything in the safe, any coins that are collected, I said the coins aren't valuable. The stuff in the safe is. The coins aren't valuable. You can give those to the kids if they want them, but the stuff in the safe, so you get some extra cash now while we're waiting for life insurance to pay out or whatever the case is. Call Fish up and have him come by, give him it, let him give you a fair number, or let him move it, because he'll do that for us.
Yeah, and that may sound kind of like a flimsy plan or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, but that's actually an amazing plan.
Right.
Like having you should have, I think, 1 or 2 trusted people that you could, if you think it would be easier than your spouse to actually do it, if she's not involved with that sort of thing,
right?
Then I think that's an amazing plan, because
she
there's
knows,
going to be so much going on.
Right.
If
the last thing they want to do is
exactly and
try and hustle silver on Facebook.
And a friend that really cares about you, your wife, your family is going to be honored to help you out in that capacity. That's actually a really good idea.
Well, and she does know, worst case scenario, she knows I have a good relationship with Mark and Colin over at Oviedo Rare Coins. If she was stuck, couldn't get a hold of you or whatever, that would be her next place, because she is aware of my relationship with them, and I trust that they would treat her more than fair as well. So, this is stuff you should really think about. And the truth is, my wife could care less about my metals.
Yeah.
She doesn't really care what they are, what they're worth. She, again, would rather see X's and O's in her bank account. But it's a real thing. I've got money tied up in there. And so what is your plan? Have you ever thought of it? And if you haven't thought about it, folks, you should.
That's good. It's definitely a good question. I like having the idea of having some trusted friends. So my kids are stackers, and my wife is. I've taken her in to meet the people I buy and sell from.
Right.
So she would know how to go in, meet them. They know her.
And your wife is very different from my wife. She's very hands-on with you and what you guys have together.
Yeah.
Like she's a very. My wife would rather go to Target and get a Starbucks than deal with selling silver and gold.
My wife and I do not argue about much, but if she goes to freaking Target, that is like, I just blow my top. They'll slow to anger, goes right out the window. You went to where? I don't care where you go, as long as it's not that freaking place. I lose my mind.
Oh yeah,
I lose my mind.
I gotcha.
I lose my mind.
Well, that's good.
So she's pretty aware. But you know, you do bring up a good point. Like, I think I would probably, well, I mean, honestly, between my daughters and my wife, like, we're kind of a stacker family.
Right.
So that's pretty much, you know,
they're pretty
connected.
savvy to it.
Yeah.
And my oldest son, I mean, he can give some feedback. He's just one that he isn't into stacking. He's into a few collectibles, and that's more his thing.
Yeah.
Could he do it? He could. But the reality is, fish is local. My wife knows fish. She trusts fish. I know and trust fish. So that's an easy answer for us. Hey, I'm not going to drag this out any further. Other than choking on your food, you got anything else?
It's back, baby.
He is 3.45 ounces of silver back.
Look at that.
My loss for betting against Trump.
Man.
But high five for Trump.
High five for Trump.
Hey, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. This is Pirate.
Fish.
And we'll see you next time. Arghhhh. Have a great weekend, guys.